Off the grid campers, welcome to part 1 of the eFusionBlue video series where we walk you through our eFusionBlue electrical system. So this is the ute camper, and in many respects it's the most challenging because of the limited amount of real estate. So I'm just going to show you the components that comprise this system in this video. These are the lithium Victron batteries. This is the 300 amp hour NG, stands for next generation smart lithium batteries. There's 2 of them in here. So this customer's got the Extreme 600 package. There's room for a third. You'll see up the back there, there's more space in the battery tray for another. So you can take it up to 900 amp hours. They run through to the main bus. So this first distributor here, and there's a BMS and another distributor there, but the first distributor is the battery distributor. So you'll see that the cabling runs up into that distributor. There's room for more connections there, but each distributor has 4. Each of them are fused. If there's a failure, the light will indicate on one of the connections. The main purpose of the distributor is to create like electrical backbone or highway for the distribution of the current through the system. Now this is a very high current system, hence we use distributors and not normal bus bars. These are 1000 amp rated. So that's the battery distributor. There it goes through to the BMS. Function of the BMS is to provide cell balancing for the batteries, also to stop them being deeply discharged or overcharged. So quite an essential piece of gear. This is the load distributor, so distributes out to various items in the camper. Whether it's to the inverter to create 240 power or 12 volt devices. All your 12 volt devices run through these 2 switch panels up here. They're all fused. They correspond to buttons on the other side of the camper you may have seen in other videos to turn things on and off. You've got your roof lift system here. You've got your inverter over here. That's a 3000 watt, goes up to 5000 in the Extreme 900 or 1200 package. That creates your 240 power. It also stores at 12, so if you're running through the grid, you're plugged in up here, you're running through the grid, it'll drop 240 down to 12 to store into your batteries, or if you're running from your batteries, it'll create 240 to run up to your 240 mains distributor. So that's similar to what you would have on your house. So you've got your RCD, which is your safety breaker, and then it drops down into 3 smaller breakers for your hot water system, your general power, and your air conditioning. So everything's fused and isolated in the camper. You've also got your solar PV isolator up there. Everything's 2-pole, by the way. You've got your MPPT, which is also known as your solar charger, so that's dropping your voltage from the solar panels. Can be, depending on how they're wired, at a high voltage, or they can be slightly above 12, but irrespective, the job of that is to drop it down to your battery voltage, which is 12 volts. So it will harvest charge from the rooftop solar panels and serve them to your battery, depending on your battery state of charge. Your DC to DC charger, which is tucked in there, that's the 50 amp Orion XS 1400, so that'll work on 12 or 24 input or output. It says selectable inputs and outputs, so that'll work on truck campers or ute campers depending on your battery. That's basically it. That's your eFusionBlue components in this particular camper that we've built. Last but not least, we have the eFusionBlue on-off switch. So that replaces the big clunky isolator, power isolator. You physically have to turn the dial and it will tell the BMS to shut the entire system down. So that's what you get when you use the Victron gear. It's very high tech, very easy to use because it's all programmed and we set it up to be essentially automated. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in part 2 of this series.